Good morning, I'm Nicholas Bragnell.
And I'm Louisa Seaton. Happy Valentine's Day. Send us in your messages for your loved ones before 11 a.m. and we could be reading them out on air later in the show.
Coming up today, tributes fly in for music icon Whitney Houston.
Living the dream, local Hackney boy Adam Deacon takes home the Rising Star Award at the BAFTAs.
Kylie Minogue reports Twitter stalker.
And we will have your latest sports news with Tommy Wilkinson.
But first, this report on the death of Whitney Houston.
The music hall has paid tribute to Whitney Houston, who was found dead in a hotel room in Los Angeles at the weekend. An autopsy has confirmed that foul play was not responsible for the death of the singer.
They attempted life-saving resuscitation measures. Unfortunately, they were not successful, and at approximately 3:55 p.m., Whitney Houston was pronounced dead. We have detectives upstairs and crime scene investigators, and they're conducting an investigation right now to try and determine the cause of death.
The entertainment industry is now coming to terms with the loss of an icon. Her funeral will be held later this week. Celebrities had fond memories of the singer.
Thank you for giving us your talent and one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard.
The most natural, sexy sounding person I've ever heard, and it's a shame.
When the truly great artists leave us, their legacy lives on. We love Whitney Houston.
I just want to say to Whitney up in heaven, we all love you, Whitney Houston.
A very sad day.
Sad story indeed. Sunday night saw Stephen Fry lead the 65th Annual British Film Academy Awards. The artist dominated the glamorous event, clutching 7 BAFTAs in total. The film's star, Jean Dujardin, scooped up Best Actor, beating British favourite Gary Oldman.
Thank you to BAFTA. Thank you. I'm shocked. It's an honor, really. It's an honor. It was already amazing. Nominate with George Clooney, Brad Pitt, and win. It's unbelievable. I'm sorry.
The creators beamed as they took away Best Original Score, Best Costume Design, and Best Cinematography. It'll be interesting to see how the silent black and white film will do at the Oscars.
The Fellowship Award was grasped by American film director Martin Scorsese, who accepted the award saying, "It is the highest, most profound honour." Applause also rang out for underdog Adam Deacon as he won the Orange Wednesday's Rising Star Award. The 28-year-old, whose big screen break was in 2006 in Noel Clarke's Adulthood, said the award symbolised acceptance by the film world and was a win for any young person out there who dream of bettering themselves. One of his oldest friends, Thomas Connolly, reminisced as he said on Facebook, "When Adam and I were studying for our GCSEs, he simply said, 'Tom, I don't need this. Forget GCSEs, I'm going to be an actor.'"
Congratulations to Adam. Meryl Streep won the award for Best Actress for her performance in The Iron Lady. Beating Berenice Bejo, this was one award the artist couldn't quite seize for their collection. The film also won the award for Best Hair and Makeup.
And finally, John Hurt won the contribution to the British Television Award and said that it was his role in Quentin Crisp in 1975 that was his lucky break.
Australian pop star Kylie Minogue has called the police after being sent threatening messages by a fan on microblogging site Twitter. Kylie tweeted, "I love 1,033,861 of you lovers, but one is not a lover, just a deluded weirdo making threats." Many of Kylie's fans have retweeted the message, whilst others have sent their own tweets of support. One reads, "I hope whoever's threatening Kylie Minogue knows there's more than 1 million of us ready to jump to her defence." Another wrote, "No one messes with our Kylie, leave her alone."
This isn't the first unwanted attention Kylie has received, as back in 2003 she received 700 threatening letters in the space of a year. However, this incident is not likely to lower Kylie's spirits, as she is going to be celebrating her 25th anniversary of being a professional singer with a Sydney concert in March.
And now to Tommy Wilkinson for your sports news.
Thank you. The main sporting headlines today. Liverpool forward Luis Suarez has today apologised for his part in the handshake rout at Old Trafford. In a statement issued, Suarez said, "I have not only let Dalglish down, but also the club and what it stands for. I should have shaken Patrice Evra's hand before the game, and I want to apologise for my actions." Harry Redknapp, the man favourite to take over as England manager, believes Paul Scholes should play for England in Euro 2012. The Tottenham manager went on to liken the Manchester United midfielder to Barcelona's Xavi and Iniesta. In cricket, Cook and Finn played key roles as England beat Pakistan by 130 runs in the first one-day international in Abu Dhabi. Cook was dominant with the bat, while Finn took 4 wickets in a commanding victory. And finally, in rugby, Wales coach Rowan Gatland is now in pole position to coach the Lions on the 2013 tour to Australia after receiving approval from the Welsh Rugby Union. That's all with the sports headlines today. Back to you, Nick and Louisa.
Thank you very much, Tommy.
Thank you. Right, after the break, we'll be reading out your Valentine's messages, so don't go anywhere.
Good evening, I'm Joshua Allison. The headlines tonight: injured British photographer rescued from Syria, Charlotte Church wins a court case against News International, Barclays Bank is told to pay £500 million back in tax, the man accused of burning down a shop in London is convicted of arson, and we look at the highlights of this year's Oscars. Good evening. As the violence in Syria escalates, we have learned that the British photographer Paul Conroy has been smuggled out of the country. Conroy, who was seriously injured in a shelling attack by the Syrian army, has his location shielded because of his fears for his own safety, although it is believed that he was taken across the border into Lebanon. The UN, meanwhile, has called for an immediate ceasefire by condemning the shelling of civilian troops, as many of 125 people, though, have died in the last 48 hours alone, despite the Red Cross's best efforts to reduce casualties in the country.
I was injured in the leg. I think my colleague Marie Colvin is dead, and Remy also is dead, as far as I know. I don't know much at the moment.
In London today, Charlotte Church and her parents agreed to damages and costs of up to £600,000 with News of the World. Speaking outside the Royal Courts of Justice, Ms Church said that it was an important day for her and her family. The court agreed that 33 articles in the paper had been due to her family's voicemails being hacked. The High Court also heard that the singer's phone was hacked when she was only 16 years old. Ms Church also said that she believed that despite an apology, the paper was not truly sorry, only sorry that they had got caught. Before leaving, the singer said she would now focus on helping the criminal investigation and Lord Justice Levison's inquiry into media ethics. Barclays Bank has been ordered by the Treasury to pay £500 million in tax, which it has tried to avoid. Barclays was accused by Hedge Revenue and Customs of designing and using 2 schemes that were intended to avoid substantial amounts of tax. The government has closed the schemes to retrieve the £500 million of lost tax and introduced legislation to end such aggressive tax avoidance by banks. Now for the latest on the summer riots, our news correspondent Charlotte Jacobs has the latest.
This here is one of the most iconic images from the summer riots. On August the 8th of last year, we saw this 144-year-old furniture store in Croydon burnt to the ground. Gordon Thompson, aged 33, has now pleaded guilty to theft, looting and arson. At the beginning of his trial, Thompson pleaded guilty to burglary and looting, but not guilty to arson. Midway through his trial at the Old Bailey, Thompson now pleads guilty on all 3 charges. Thompson started the blaze by setting alight to a sofa, which went on to ignite the whole store and nearby flats, which saw a woman jump from her flat in order to escape the smoke. The owners of the store were present at the trial and have thanked the police for all they have done. Thompson now awaits sentencing in April later this year.
And now for news on the 2012 Oscars, we go to our entertainment correspondent, Matt Evans.
The artist proved that silence is golden, as the film took 3 of the 5 big awards at this year's Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Director and Best Actor. The film, which has been described as the most joyful movie of the year, saw first-time Oscars for actor Jean Dujardin and director Michael Hazanavicius. Meryl Streep won her 3rd Oscar for her portrayal of Margaret Thatcher in The Iron Lady. 82-year-old Christopher Plummer became the oldest actor ever to win an Oscar when he collected the Best Supporting Actor for the movie The Beginners. Another ode to old Hollywood, as Martin Scorsese's 3D Hugo picked up 5 awards, but in technical categories including cinematography and art direction. Since 1929, this is the first time a foreign silent movie has made so much noise in Hollywood.
Now, I managed to catch up with Matt earlier in the day, Well, I asked him to see how we all got on. So Matt, how did we do in the Brits today?
Despite numerous nominations, only 3 Brits came away with the Oscar this year. Tom Fleischman and John Midgley for their best sound mixing in Martin Scorsese's Hugo, Mark Collier and J. Roy Helland for their excellent makeup work on Meryl Streep in The Iron Lady, and Northern Irish filmmaker Terry George won the Best Live Action Short Film Oscar for The Shore.
Now, apparently as well, there's been some controversy at the awards ceremony. Could you enlighten us as to what happened, Matt?
Well, Billy Crystal attracted a lot of criticism with a string of racial slurs, including a distasteful skit in which he portrays Sammy Davis Jr. And also our own Sacha Baron Cohen, known for creating Borat and Bruno, caused a massive stir by pouring the supposed ashes of King Yong II onto American presenter Ryan Seacrest.
Thanks very much for that, Matt Evans, our entertainment correspondent. And now for the latest in your sports news. Liverpool have defeated Cardiff City in the Carling Cup final. The Championship side took the lead through Joe Mason, but were unable to prevent Martin Skirtle's equaliser in the 60th minute. After 2 more goals in extra time, the match ended up in a penalty shootout. With the penalty scoreline level, Glenn Johnson stepped up confidently to score. Anthony Gerrard then missing the final kick of a dramatic climax to give Liverpool their first trophy since the 2006 FA World Cup. In tennis, the world number 1 Novak Djokovic beat 20-year-old Stebe in straight sets 6-4, 6-2. It took Djokovic 88 minutes to defeat the German player and advance into the second round of the ATP World Tour event. And finally in golf, Rory McIlroy missed a chance to become world number 1 as he lost to Hunter Mahon in Arizona. The American won the championship match 2 and won on the 17th hole during the final round of the World Golf Championship. And that's all for sport, and that's all from the Team C News team. Have a very good night.